This month in ABN AMRO World Hockey, we're in Santiago for the second leg of the men's Olympic qualifiers. Up close and personal with New Zealand's most potent weapon, drag flicker Hayden Shaw. Tiny Trinidad and Tobago dream big. Malaysia turn to a legend as they look to book their Olympic spot. And New Zealand's women continue their build-up to Beijing. First though, we're in Santiago, where the mighty Andes watch over the second of the World Hockey men's Olympic qualifiers held at the beautiful Prince of Wales Club. 6 teams were in the fray for this event, but in reality it was a 2-horse race from the very outset. 8-time Olympic champions India hadn't missed the Games for a record 80 years, while Great Britain, who won the Seoul Olympic gold in 1988, were ranked 1 spot higher and were the favourites. Both teams had easy games in the early stages to set up an enticing preliminary round clash between the 2 giants. India hit the road running with young Raghunath flicking home in the 4th minute. David Christison tells you more.
Richard Mantell puts it away, scores a level. Pause. Alexander couldn't get the shot away, gets the rebound, finished off by Jonty Clark. Great Britain go 2-1 up, 10 minutes into the second half, 45th minute of the game. Raghunath it is, goes low and gets it in, brings them back to 2 goals apiece. Jackson, Daly, kept it in, kept it right on the line and finished.
So Great Britain win a tight game to grab the psychological edge. Now all they needed to do was avoid a heavy defeat against Austria, but they did more than just that.
Jackson rides the challenge from Kerper, working for a shot on goal, gets it. Ashley Jackson, brilliant individual effort from the youngster from East Grinstead. And it's gone in, the accidental hero.
India too ensured that there were no hiccups to set up the dream final.
Prabjot Singh. He backed off and then led forward. Bharat, oh, beautiful finish.
The bronze medal game turned out to be a humdinger between Russia in blue and Austria in red and black.
And a goal in the very first minute to Dmitry Azarov. Cheered by Ilya Larikov. Got through it well. Ben Stanzel, Ringler. They go first time. Oh, clever. Very clever. Fabian Ringler.
But Russia, ranked only 45th in the world, turned up the heat in the second half to clinch a memorable 6-3 victory. Then it was time for the big match as the 2 former Olympic champions looked to avoid the ignominy of missing the Beijing Games. The pressure on the teams was enormous, but Great Britain seemed to be dealing better with it in the early stages.
Jackson, oh, beautifully done. Ashley Jackson, you're a genius. And Barry Middleton gets the first goal of the game. Set up by Ashley Jackson. Mantell puts it away. Gets his 5th. Gets Great Britain's 2nd of the game. Rajpal. Not giving up, Rajpal Singh. There's nothing for it. They're not going to win. Here comes the siren. Great Britain are going to Beijing. India are going to miss the men's Olympic hockey event for the first time since they debuted at the Olympic Games in 1928.
A crushing defeat there for India, but for Jason Lee's side it was pure joy as they celebrated a magnificent achievement. It was also a proud moment for skipper Ben Hawes, who'd been dropped from the Champions Trophy and had struggled with a major injury for much of 2007. New Zealand's victory in the Olympic qualifier in Auckland had much to do with the class of their drag flicker Hayden Shaw. Always their go-to man in difficult situations, Shaw resurrected the Black Sticks from a precarious position to what turned out to be a stunning last-gasp victory by scoring 1 goal and creating the other 2 in the final, and this despite some nagging injury problems.
I was pretty doubtful of playing. It wasn't until just before the game that I was going to play. Did my Achilles yesterday in the game, so I was stoked to get through the game. And normally the coach is taking me on and off the field, which I don't like because I was only on the field for 6 corners this whole tournament. So to be on the field for the whole of that second half and have the opportunity to score those corners and set up those corners, I loved it, and that's why I play this game.
Up until the final, though, the tournament hadn't been a happy one for the big unit from Christchurch. He'd scored only 1 goal throughout the event and looked a long way off his usual self. His flicking hadn't been great and he'd struggled on the pitch as well. The only bright spot up until the final had been the fact that he'd become the first New Zealander to score 100 goals as the Black Sticks hammered Trinidad and Tobago 12-0 on day 1.
If I played enough games, I knew I'd get it. So although getting it, as I said, is a big thing, and in New Zealand hockey no one's ever done it, to me it's just something that I suppose I should have got. With the amount of games I'm playing, with my role as a drag flicker, as a penalty corner specialist, that's my role, to score goals, so I should get it. So in terms of probably my second half of my career, I was a little bit disappointed, or the second part of that 100, I was a little bit disappointed in my success rate.
While he remains one of the most feared exponents of the drag flick in the world, he's objective about why he believes he hasn't had quite the amount of success he would have liked in recent times.
I think goalkeepers have got a little bit better, and I probably, early on in your career, no one really knows much about you. You're playing weaker teams, which in some ways have not as good as goalkeepers as when you're playing the top teams, and now that New Zealand's starting to move up the ladder as such, we're playing some better teams. So all those things, as well as probably not developing my flick as well as I should, as efficiently. Although over the last year or so it started to come back to me. I've started to flick it a lot quicker and a lot more accurate, so hopefully the next couple of years it should be keep going.
Drag flicking may seem like a simple craft. In reality, though, it's an intricate art, and as Shaw explains, there are many reasons why a flicker could go on and off his form.
Yeah, I think there's so many things that can go right, can go wrong when you're all little techniques with flicking. Also the variable pitches, the variable pull-outs, the variable stoppers at the top. For me, you get in a routine, yeah, you're flicking really, really well, for instance, in boom. And then so you think, okay, what do I work on next? Well, there's not a hell of a lot that I can work on because I am flicking it at my best. And then it goes through a stage and you might get lazy in one little aspect, whether it be your running through, whether it be your release. And then next minute you're out of nick and you're trying to find answers.
Another reason why he might have struggled on and off could be the fact that he's dabbled a bit in cricket as well, playing at the first-class level for Canterbury as a fast-bowling all-rounder. And at times he's been undecided on which sport to take up full-time. Now at 27, he's committed to hockey, though cricket remains a passion he can't shake off.
Yeah, no, I love hockey, and that's the thing. I love bowling and cricket, but I don't necessarily love batting and fielding too much. I just love bowling fast, and that's what I enjoy doing. But hockey, I enjoy training. I enjoy getting out there. I know I've got something special in hockey, and I think that's the end of it, really. Money isn't everything. You got to enjoy what you do. Albeit I am playing a bit of club cricket here and there, and after this tournament, I'll be back in Christchurch playing a bit of club cricket for my club team Riccarton. down there. So, and I enjoy doing that, and I enjoy turning out and helping the young guys in my cricket team develop as well.
While he may wish he'd had more success over the years, goalkeepers around the hockey world shudder at the prospect of an even more dangerous Hayden Shaw. Last year in Boom, the big man was as close to perfection as anyone could possibly hope to be.
It was probably the best in my career, the way I flicked it in Boom. I worked when I was playing for Den Bosch in the Dutch season. I had a little bit of contact with Tone Sigmund, and he gave me a few little tips about maybe not getting as low and using my explosiveness rather than trying to run through the ball, using more hip rotation, and made a couple of changes to my technique for that, and yeah, it seemed to work. So yeah, since then it's just kept on going.
Now the key for coach Shane McLeod is to get Hayden back to his fearsome best by Beijing, and if he does that, the Black Sticks could well be one of the dark horses of the Olympics. After the break, tiny Trinidad aim for future glory. And Malaysia pins its Olympic qualification hopes on one of their all-time greats. '24th-ranked Trinidad and Tobago were the minnows of the first round of the Olympic qualifiers in Auckland. With a population of just 1.3 million, this little island nation from the Caribbean is an overachiever in sporting terms, but hockey isn't the most important sport on these islands.
Our main sport is really soccer and cricket. Those are the two that really takes the brunt of it back home. But I think the government decided that, we need to develop just not those two sports and give the other sports a chance to also develop. So they brought this program into place where they will help fund us to get better performance, better player structures around. So I think it's working so far.
For the players, this tournament was a momentous occasion, their first outdoor event on the world stage after having played the Indoor World Cup last year, and they were keen to make a good impression.
We were extremely happy when we qualified for this tournament. We finished fourth at the Pan American Games. We knew we were coming against some of the top teams in the world, so it was going to be difficult. So our main aim was to improve our ranking, because we came in as 24th, so if we can play really well to improve our ranking, to try and finish in the top 4. Also to show to the rest of the world that in Trinidad and in the Caribbean we can play a decent level of hockey. For us, it's good to be here, nice to be here, but we really want to compete and make keep the level of the hockey high.
The ambitions may have been limited in this tournament, but TNT are now aiming big. Development is the new watchword in the islands, and the man involved big time in this is the team's lone star, Quandwayne Brown.
At the moment, we have some youth programs throughout the country in Trinidad and Tobago where I'm going around the country trying to find young players under like 11, 12 years old who we think have the built or is like talent identification. And we found quite a few, and we bring them to our National Hockey Center every Saturday, and we start giving them special coaching, special training. I do the coaching of the youths, and we think in maybe 7, 8 years, we're going to have some really good players from under 21 level to who can maybe help us compete at the highest level. At the moment, some of the players I've already found from the talent identification is here. We already have 4 of the players who we brought into our young elite program, and 4 made the team already, and that's only 1 year of coaching. So maybe in 4 or 5 years, we're going to have quite a few players, and then we can start competing at a higher level.
Skipper, drag flicker, full-time defender, regular midfielder, occasional striker, and now youth technical director, Brown certainly has his hands full.
That's how versatile he is. It depends on he's really the fullback. But his energy is so great that he believes he could do it on his own.
The way you put it across there, it sounds like quite a bit, but I suppose because I love it so much, and I know it's not just me alone, there are quite a few players, and in Trinidad on the whole, who have a strong passion for the game. And because we are only a small nation, one player has to do, or one person has to do quite a bit more. So it's not just me alone doing quite a bit, it's everyone. They have to do a lot more because we are a small country with little resources, so you really have to spread yourself a little bit thin sometimes. But me, I love it because I love the sport so much, and I know in tournaments like these, you know, you really have to do a little bit more to try and match up with the other top countries.
Thankfully, the days of Kwan playing a lone hand may soon be over, with several young players now making their mark. 7 of the team that came to Auckland are 21, and quite a few play in leagues around Europe. Hopes are high that this will translate into top-level performances very soon. For now, though, Trinidad will take heart from the fact that they didn't finish bottom of the heap in Auckland. Their win over the USA, a proud moment for this young team.
Oh, it's great. It's a great feeling. It's a great feeling. I think it's a lot. The guys worked really, really hard, and I think they did a good job today. They played very disciplined hockey, and they got the results that they wanted. I think that's excellent.
5th place in the qualifier is just the first step, but it's only a matter of time before they manage to achieve something even bigger. As Malaysia prepare for their do-or-die attempt at Olympic qualification, they've been looking for some weapons to give them the edge in a group that includes world champions Germany, hosts Japan and dark horses Poland. And to that end, they've turned towards one of their legends, former captain Kuhan Shanmuganathan, who's been called out of retirement in order to lend much-needed experience to a young and exuberant Malaysian team.
It's definitely just for the qualifiers at the moment now. Because I see that this team has potential. I know we are in a very difficult group, and we're drawn in with Japan, Germany, and then there's Poland. These are the teams that are difficult, and of course there's Germany there. Germany is always a very difficult team to play against, but well, I think the team believes in themselves. I think if there is a chance, I think there is a chance, a very slim chance, but when there is a chance, we have to take it. So that's what we're trying to do. And I see the potential in this team. And the coach and the players said they wanted me back in the team, and I decided to come back and try and help the team.
At the age of 31, Kuhan is no spring chicken. Having played for Malaysia for 12 years, and with new coach Sarjit Singh targeting the next World Cup and the 2012 Olympics, he decided to call it a day after leading the team in the Doha Asian Games.
I've been in the team since 1994, and well, when I joined the team, we were in the top 10 in the world, and yeah, we had some good times, but we also had some bad times, and it was difficult for us in the last 2 years. The last 3 years, failing to qualify for the Athens Olympics and the World Cup in Mönchengladbach. But I think things are looking better now with the team here. They did well in the Aslan Shah this year, 2nd place, and they did well in the Asia Cup. So I think it's a step forward for the team, and that's why I decided to come back after a year.
Having been out of the international game for a while, Kuhan is taking nothing for granted. And even though he played in the German league for 2nd Division Mannheim just recently, he's chalked out a full programme which he intends to follow before deciding whether he still has it in him to play the qualifier.
Right now I'm just working on my fitness for the next 1 month, and the team, we have a tour to Australia, and that will be a good gauge to see how I progress after this 1 month training period.
In his last few years with the national side, Kuhan concentrated only on his role as fullback. But in the early part of his career, he was known for his fearsome drag flick, and that's the additional string that coach Sarjit Singh is looking for to his bow. That, of course, means that Kuhan will have to work even harder as he looks to perform a dual role.
Being a flicker, it's always added pressure because the team relies on you to score goals. But at this level, the the expectation of the people, and there's pressure on you. But at this level, you have to take the pressure, because if you're a flicker, you are supposed to score goals.
Not having qualified for the last World Cup and with their ranking dropping to 14th, Malaysia have struggled in recent times, but the signs are there for a revival.
We had a reasonably strong team from '98 right up to 2002, and 2002 we did, I think, way above our expectations. We finished 8th in the World Cup, and that was a very big achievement for our team. But what happened after the World Cup was that we lost 7-8 senior members of the team. And the problem with us that time is we didn't have a good development program, and there weren't enough good players to fill in those gaps. So that is why we took a slump after that. After 2002, it was very difficult for us to rebuild the team. But now I think we've realized our mistake, and that development of younger players is very, very important. So that's what we're looking at, and you could see a very strong Malaysian team in the next 3, 4, 5 years maybe.
Placed in a tough group, not many would give the Malaysians a chance of achieving their Olympic dream this year. But Kuhan believes that this young team could spring a surprise.
I want to play in another Olympics. That's my immediate dream. And if we qualify, then I think I will play till the next. I will try to play in the next World Cup as well. If we don't qualify for the Olympics this year, probably I would give up international hockey for good, because age is catching up. So I think it'll be difficult after that, I think, yeah.
It will be the last throw of the dice for Kuhan, and Sarjit Singh's boys will have to play out of their skins to get past the higher-ranked Germany and Japan. But Kuhan is dreaming of the day that his drag flick puts Malaysia on the plane to Beijing. The last couple of years have been a bad dream for New Zealand's women. One of their lowest points came in last year's Champions Challenge in Baku, where they finished a humiliating 5th out of 6. The lone bright spot was their win over Australia in the Olympic qualifier in Buderim, but that win has not washed away the memories of Baku.
Obviously Baku was something that we'd like to forget, but you can't. We've got a lot of tapes that show us that we played very poorly there. First of all, the girls have been on a better fitness program. We've been quite harsh on them. I've made some selection changes, quite a considerable number. We were lucky for Buderim that Kayla Charlin came back into the side. Unfortunately, she's out now for at least a month with a quad injury. But just generally, we've just spent a lot of time in the regions getting fit, talked a lot about the game, gone over those tapes time and time again. We spent 28 days away on our way to Buderim, most of that in Hong Kong, and we got through a lot of work there, so I'm pretty pleased with where we're at.
The debacle in Baku had much to do with the fact that coach Kevin Towns was still coming to grips with the intricacies of the women's game. It's something that took some time getting used to, especially after just having had 6 years in charge of the resurgent New Zealand men.
My problem was that I didn't feel the girls were accumulating knowledge and the game wasn't going forward. We would play one game and they'd take all their notes, play another game. If I left something out, then it was like reading a book without the final page. So, I really found that difficult, but we seem to have got around those issues.
Now Towns has chalked out an intensive programme leading up to the Olympics. Some of the top women's teams have been invited to come over, and there are also a few camps and tours planned.
We've got a pretty heavy program. We've got 15 tests in 1.5 months. Then we go into 2 months of regional training here, of which there are 2 9-day camps where we train very, very hard for 9 days.
Korea were the first of the top foreign teams to come and play in New Zealand, and the Black Sticks, just beginning their season, were able to gauge their strengths and weaknesses against a team that is still looking to qualify for Beijing. The Koreans, who were disappointing at the 2006 Asian Games, where they finished 4th, have been in good form in recent times. And not surprisingly, they proved too strong for the New Zealanders in the Test series. But coach Towns was far from disappointed. He was looking at the bigger picture.
playing a team like Korea 1, you want to give them the best run that you can possibly give them at the time. But for us, it's about developing some of the things that were missing in Bacau and some of the things that we didn't quite achieve in Budrum, and a lot of that's to do with the way our midfield and our strikers link and how they lead off one another and create space. And that seems to have been one of the difficulties they've found, and with me wanting to play through the midfield, which is the biggest change I've made in the game for the woman, it's been hard work.
And more hard work lies ahead as Towns continues his build-up to the Summer Olympics. That's all we have time for you this month on ABN AMRO World Hockey. Next month we meet Dutch striker Ronald Brouwer. See you then.